Hello everyone, and welcome to Day Job. I'm your host, Code Marvelous. Today we are going to be taking my very minorly adjusted AgInfusion deck for a spin on Kentucky. Let's see if we can find some people to terrorize with it. Yeah, so AgInfusion is really neat. It's good for what ails you if people in your meta like playing account siphon, turns out. Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of that. I like just making it that people don't have the ability to just, well, I don't know how to deal with what's going on with your game plan, so I'll just siphon you into oblivion instead. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. So we're gonna keep these going. This is gonna be a 5-day-a-week thing. I hope a lot of people are enjoying. I'm enjoying doing it. It's making me really excited to build and test now. Hopefully this person's just playing Alice. Mulligan. Oh, I don't have video mode, so I'm gonna have to do a control or a shift F5 after this match. So let's do new remote, server 1, and advance. So now our opponent can't make another run. So that's pretty exciting. Now, of course, we could just get siphoned to death here, so who knows? Oh no. We're just gonna get siphoned to death. That's always exciting. Alright, so things are looking somewhat grim, but we're working it out. Part of me just kind of forgot that this is the primary thing that Haley's want to do, not Haley's, that Max's want to do. That's my own fault. Alright, so it looks like we're actually going to get to score this, which is pretty exciting. Phew. I guess we got to get rid of a baddie here, then we can just try to recur it later. Wow. Both Jacksons into the bin. Alright, so we got to put down Jackson number 3. And we will click for a buck. And since we're just going to be recycling it right now, because I don't know if they run rumor mill. So the original version of this deck that was played in a tournament only had one Jackson, which is something that I'm not comfortable with. So I found a way to get them all in. I mean, I guess this is one of those scenarios where we might just lose just because they were able to get set up immediately and they're just going to mill us to death. Now that we have money, we can start trashing things. Yeah, what are other people doing with AgInfusion? There's so many like interesting things that are going on with AgInfusion because it doesn't predispose a specific deck, which I really like. Okay, it looks like unfortunately we lost our opponent. Which sucks, because they were going to beat our ass, which I will fully admit. But such is life. Alright, let's shift F5. Let's find a new game. Now, a lot of people have been putting currents in AgInfusion, but I don't really want to spend the deck slots, and the deck is still basically like a mud Jinteki Glacier, and I'm never going to win. Anyone who's running Employee Strike is going to have enough recursion to beat me on it, so... Alright, let's do it. Except for I want maybe a better opener. That's a better opener. Spoilers. What is going on? This is exciting. Let's draw. Let's draw once more. And then let's put the Merlin on R&D. And we will put... We want to keep all ice. We don't have a scoring server, so we'll put Caprice in there because we can always medium her back. Not medium, Friends in High Places, her back. Okay. Or we can't, but that's okay. What is with all the DLR? Is this some like last hurrah for DLR stuff going on? God, Excalibur is such a nice piece of ice. Alright, so let's go ahead and go for the Gusto. The Gusto. Chat's awful quiet today. What other, has anybody done any really weird stuff with it? Okay, so... we are going to AgInfusion into HQ. We are going to do that. Oh, AgInfusion. So good, saving us from run amok. A Grail? So good. 1, 2, 3. Score. What did we lose? Another piece of ice. Hey, Balder. What's up, buddy? Interesting. The deck that I'm playing, or the deck that I'm playing against? Who knows? So we're gonna do the same trick over again. Oh, this time they're just gonna let us fire it the normal way? Okay. So I'll res it. all the spoilers in the world. Yeah, I think this has to be running some sort of immolation script play. I think that's a good call. Getting that money. Whoa, 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 whoa. That doesn't give you tags, does it? Oh, take one tag. Okay, yeah. Well, always be advancing. I'm glad that we got the other friends, because that means we can get Jackson back with it. Or just one of the agendas even. We could just put Nisei and Caprice. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to put Batty in, restructure, and then we're gonna get Jackson into server 2. And Caprice in server 2 as well. The black file. So we just need to not lose. So let's just get, you know, 2 agendas and Jackson out. We're gonna put that in server 2. We're gonna advance it twice. And I think we're in pretty good shape here. Except for we have to trash the black file next turn. Yeah, Mike, it's a really cool deck, so I was excited to play it. Let me fix the chat real quick and go back to the old chat widget. That should cover it. Alright. Yeah. I'm so excited that I've got this segment now where more of the UK people can watch live as opposed to having to see everything on replay. And I play for about an hour every morning anyway, so it works out. Everybody wins. Wizard. This is a pretty good hand. I'll keep this. Water. Can't get my lap, man. Nope. Gotta go. Then we're just gonna prevent the siphon. One thing I love about all these AgInfusion decks is they're just money cards. Well, welcome, Vincent. I love my cat so much, but he is the most dog-like. He's like a small dog. No matter how much attention you give him, it's not enough. And he just wants to be in our laps 24 hours a day. Like, he's so sweet, but I just want to punch him sometimes because he just does not give us a break. I kind of don't care about R&D ice right now. There's no immediate threat. I really want a third piece of Grail in my hand before I put that down because I want to be able to get max value in case they're on paperclip. And I always like to keep, against Anarchs, the Galahads in my hand because the Galahad is the one that they can break really efficiently, but the other two, the Lancelot and the Merlin, are two that they cannot break very efficiently. So I'd rather do that. Message retracted. Dun dun dun. Yeah, basically. There's the Timmy J. So much money. All right. Let's draw. Let's draw again. Yay! All right. So we can put Caprice in the bin because we can pull her out. And I really don't want to put IPO in the bin. How likely do I think it is that my opponent will check archives? If there's no Jackson, probably very high. Guess it's got to be IPO. Oh, yeah. I mean, even so, Corroder, my point still stands, Tristan. Like, the Galahad is the one that Anarchs break really efficiently. If our opponent is on Black Orchestra, Merlin is not great. And MK Ultra, it's definitely not great for Lancelot. If they're on Yogg, they're going to have Data Sucker support in order to break it. Oh, you can just run R&D. Come on. Just come on in. Just run R&D. You can just hang out here. That's okay. Hey, look, there is a paperclip. Alright, let's draw. Where's my friggin' ice? So I guess we're just gonna get flooded. Like, I guess that's gonna be what happens here with our 9 agenda deck. Oh, please. Oh, no. And another agenda draw. We need a Jackson or some other piece of ice to show up that isn't a barrier so we can actually start jamming out. Because we've already seen 5 of 9 agendas. I really want you to run R&D. If you could just run R&D for me, that would be so good. Oh, yeah. Looking for an ice carver, I would imagine. We're in bad shape, though. I really need another... There we go. Okay, so... New remote. Server 1. Advance. Start jamming out. No, there's no Chairman Hiro in the deck. It's just the name because he's the leader of the corporation. Okay. Alrighty then. Hopefully there isn't like an MK on there. So let's res. And reveal. Do we get the fire? Tastes good. Yeah, I just was trying to think of something clever, and that's the most clever I could come up with. Oh, that's cute. So after hunting so hard for ice, we're basically guaranteed to lose it. That's cute. I like that. But we've got a lot more ice in this deck, so we should be okay. We just need to... We're starting to stabilize a little bit at least. Yeah, the Yogg trash is pretty freaking good, Vincent. I'm a big fan of it. They also have to be feeling pretty bad that that medium went down. Another agenda. That medium went down after before they put down Grimoire. I do have friends as well. So we've used a lot of money cards, so I might actually try to do a sales team next. Oh, they're just gonna go for it. Okay, well I guess I'll res this and see if you can deal with it, which I don't think you can. So I think you just eat it to the face. Because they need 9, they need 6 just to get up to strength. Oh yeah, I guess I could do a Betty kill. I'm gonna save it though. Yeah, only 7 credits for Paperclip to break Chiashi is why I completely like redid my smoke deck to be able to include Paperclip. Oh my god, a Jackson Howard. Hey Ruben, welcome, welcome. Rad. Boop, boop, boop. That money. He has seen Grail Ice, that's correct. Okay, so let's just keep it moving. That's true. I'm so excited that a lot of people are jumping in on this stream. I'm glad that a lot of people are able to come watch at this time. I'm following in with my long-standing content generation strategy of recording what I would do anyway. That double Nisei counter. I think I'm going to take a turn off from scoring, though, and probably purge. Oh, please run R&D. Please run R&D. I'm going to melt your freaking face off. I find that I am exceptionally rich as AgInfusion. You can't do it. Good game. Yeah, the money ops are really good. That's the other reason I added the Jackson Howards. In a normal game, like when I played this at Meetup, I was very rarely Jacksoning to cycle agendas because I've only got 9, so I'm usually able to handle them by the time they come. But doing multiple Jacksons, just putting money operations back in the deck is pretty crazy. That is a great opener. We're gonna keep the shit out of that. Yeah, and let's just put the big boy right there on HQ. Alright. I mean, if you're into that, I guess. Okay. I guess we're just gonna lose. Maybe, but I like Jackson because it does have a lot of flexibility. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird that way. Sure, you can have all the money. All the money. Okay, so with the knowledge that we have, our opponent currently cannot break sentries. So this is a jam out agendas deck. So we're gonna jam out agendas. Or we're gonna get inside jobbed. But Such is life. So hot right now. Alright, so I'm not going to lie to you, viewers. It's a tough sell for us to come back from this nonsense. Yeah, we're in kind of a tough place now. I'm going to put this on archives just in case they decide that what they'd really like to do in this world is do another Temujin. Scribble, I really like to just trash any ice. Whatever forces people to encounter the Chiashi, or, you know, whatever is my worst ice for them, I'll throw anything else in the trash and just recur it later. Oh, Lustig's really bad for Lancelot. Gotta get up to that 2 strength, huh? Let's see if we can bait a run by putting Batty in there. But then get it anyway. Oh, I would say 1000% this is probably an Apocalypse deck. But remember, for one of the runs, we can just throw them into another server. Because now we always have this server to throw them into. Alright, so money, money, money. Let's get it moving. Correct. It's also worth noting, you know, if they do a bunch of Abagnale nonsense to try to get through other things, the DNA tracker could always potentially shred the Apocalypse from their hand. Like, this is the critical turn if they're on Apocalypse, because if they Apocalypse, they then know an agenda's. Alright, so I guess here's the real question. I think I am going to throw them into R&D, because if they're on Apocalypse, they're still going to have to break this Chiashi. So, let's do that. That's what I wanted. I mean, they'll probably just pick an agenda here. Faint. Wow. Yep, I think we were going to lose here. But our opponent definitely earned it. Yep, I should have. Good game. Alright, let's see if we can get one more quick one. I swear this deck does better when I play it in person. I swear. While we're waiting for our opponent, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank everybody who backs Self-Modifying Code on Patreon. Without your support, I couldn't have got all the equipment that I need to do the green screen, or the mat, and all the tokens for streaming the tournaments, or the extra cameras. So any support from anyone in the community helps me improve the channel and increase the amount of content that I'm working on. Currently, we're trying to get up to $175 a month. If I can get there, I'm going to start doing a monthly deck club where I collaborate with the community on a specific deck over a month and then publish the finished product video at the end. Links in the show notes. Thank you. A side effect of the green screen, Vincent, is my 3.5-year-old daughter goes mental for me using the green screen camera to like put her, the green screen up, like put her fighting dragons or like in space and stuff, which is a nice side effect. If we don't get an opponent in a minute here, we're gonna switch over to deck talk. I mean, we can switch over to deck talk while we're waiting. But if we go too much longer, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So I love the agenda suite of this. It's so good. It's so elegant. Every single agenda in our agenda suite is just pure 100% all the time value, and that feels great. I love the ice suite. I love Excalibur. Excalibur as a tack on to Galahad or one of the other Grail ice is just so nice to just say, well, I used my AgInfusion ability, but now your turn is functionally over, because you don't care how much money the runner has generally. You don't care what else they've got going on, as long as they're not on deal arm, and as long as they can't run again. Caprice is really funny. Or not Caprice. Kaminu is really funny for Anarchs. Turns out MK Ultra is really inefficient at breaking this. And then I've just got Batty, Caprice, and Mana. Alright, I'm going to have to bail out of playing the game, but let's talk about the deck a little bit. So, I think this is just I think the thing I like the most about this build, and it's based on the King Arthur's Tourism Agency deck. I just made a couple of changes. Like I got rid of, I think they had like a spare Ichi somewhere, and I just said, nah, I'd rather have 3 Jackson Howards than an Ichi. Yeah, Russell, that would have probably been a more effective play. I'm not as practiced with this deck against Grail, but that's a very good feedback. Thank you. I like this deck a lot. I think I'm gonna keep playing it just because even if they employ strike you, your ice is still terrible for anyone, any reasonable runner to break. I especially like how punishing AgInfusion is for criminals, because it's like, oh, your run events just don't work, and you're always dealing with my most expensive ice the first run you make. That's really taxing to Andromeda. In that case, I should have just sent them to the remote, even though there was no ice resed, because then they wouldn't have had enough clicks to Apocalypse. So yeah, I should not have redirected to a central there. That's very good feedback. It is a really fun piece of ice, Ewan, but I don't like it in this because it ends up being a positional piece of ice, where I don't want it as the outside piece of ice. So then I've got to draw it early, but it doesn't really slow people down early. So it's kind of a weird piece. I did have 2 pieces of ice, Ruben, on R&D, so I could have raised a second one. Yeah, I guess we're kind of in a no-win. But I did have the baddie, so I could have pushed them. It would have gone past the first ice. I would have rezzed Lancelot, rezzed baddie, try to do the baddie trick on Lustig, get that, clear both. Yeah, no, that would have been better, because I also still had the other Galahad in hand. But this is how we get better. This is how we get better, ladies and gentlemen. Like, all the practice every morning and getting the feedback from all you fine folks. Yeah. I love Marcus Baddie. So good. Ruben, the second ice on the remote was Lancelot, but it wasn't in the run because we had Galahad in hand. Hey, Bill Rye. I love the Grail Ice. Any opportunity to play the Grail Ice is a good opportunity. And this is one of the rare decks where 3x Excalibur is not just warranted, but great. It's really good as something you actually put on the table against criminals or shapers who aren't running AI. And then against Anarchs, you keep it to trigger onto whichever conspiracy breaker or whatever they don't have, and then it just makes everything. Also, I am going to posit that Shiashi has taken the place of, you know, DNA Tracker and possibly Tollbooth as just the best value big ice in the game. Like, I don't think there is any big ice that accomplishes more for its cost than Shiashi does. Yeah. I don't know. Just some other really cool things that have shown up on the thing this week. The Titan Fast Advance is really freaking cool, and I strongly suggest people sleeve it up. So is the Butcher Shot Ice Cream Parlor, but it's kind of hard. This is something, the Butcher Shot Ice Cream Parlor is something you like bring to a tournament where like no one knows you, because like if people don't know you're on this deck, they never install Film Critics against HB, and then you just blow up their house. But if you're against anyone who knows that you're playing this deck, you will have a very tough, if not impossible, time beating them, because they'll just hammer centrals over and over again until they win. They'll never run a never advanced card unless they have to. So here's the interesting thing with Mumbad City Grid. I love that card. However, as a one-of, I can only really fit one, and if I only put one, I can never base the win or loss plans of my deck on that. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be doing this every day of the week. I'm going to be doing it during the 5 days of the work week. But yeah, thank you everybody for taking time out of, I guess, if you're in the UK or Europe, your lunchtime. And anyone who's Western Hemisphere, thank you for spending your morning with me. Check out the Patreon in the show notes below, and please consider backing the channel and helping me expand. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you next week.